thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We have exhibition night tonight, so thank you, Jane, for all the work you've been putting together, all of the images, and I know it's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes that she does. I think we have 34 images here tonight. So I will, I'm sure there'll be some interesting images that we're going through tonight. For those who haven't participated in this before, the idea is whenever your images come up, feel free to just say a few words about it, what inspired you to make it, what is special in the work with it as far as post processing, that maybe that we can all learn from there. Feel free to chime in. And then we open it up to the floor just for people that make just general comments on its composition and the processing, suggestions and creative comments and that. So again, everybody here in the audience gets to weigh in on that. So 34 images, so we'll just spend like a few minutes, 3 minutes or something like that per image, going through those, and we'll walk through those. So again, looking forward to doing that. Thank you for those that submitted those 34 images.
All right, first image is from Shashi. It's called A Mother's Anchor. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Yes. So the last summer I was in Italy and I went to this Velda National Park and they have this river, the water was very clear in the evening. As I was walking through this, how that mama and baby was all around and it captured there, but a few moments were really special when she comes and the water and just the middle of them. And I thought that was really beautiful and capture this loving moment while her head is right on mama and the eyes were clear and the water was so beautiful and clear and standing the water. I really enjoyed that. I have hundreds of pictures of them, but you have just that. Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll start. No, I think this is beautiful. I'm looking at it here on my computer screen, also up on the monitor up there. Very sharp. I mean, really great detail throughout. And I love seeing the photos, especially when you have the fawns like this with the spots and so forth. And then the interaction right there with the mother right there beside. I like it. And whereas sometimes you like to have like a little separation from, when you have, multiple animals in there. But in this case, what I like about it is how the eyes line up. So I think it works very well on this one here myself. That, you have obviously the 2 eyes of the doe, and then you have the fawn, and then you have the other eye of the doe back behind it. The way that they line up, I think it works out real well.
On my screen, it's got a little bit of a green cast to it. And I know it's not there as much, but here it's got a little bit of a green cast to it. So you could do something with that just to in Lightroom to improve that. Okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I really enjoy the emotional draw of this. It's really, that's what really makes this, especially like everybody said, the mom seems to be nudging the baby there. You might want to try a variation where it's more of a square crop, and you cut the mom's body similarly to the baby's, because what I see, I understand where you went with this. The water is so clear and you can see the mom's feet in the water in the back, and you're trying to really bring that water out. But, your eye is drawn to the brightest thing in the photo, which is her butt, which is almost distracting. So if you make a crop that would be, like I said, similar to what the baby is, then that might bring even a closer emotion kind of thing. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying it would be a nice iteration to try.
Right.
Here, I did a little thing here for you on what Dave said. And I'll show you, and it may be because I think the main area is the faces, and you want to emphasize that. So This next picture is something I just did with it. Hold on, come on. Thank you. There.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful. That's
that's it.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And you could even keep the feet down, you know, I mean, that's really filling the frame. Jane loves that detail and she's really good at that. So that might be the crop, but you know, if you wanted to emphasize the clear water, you could certainly do that too with a similar crop on either side.
So all I did was an auto balance, a balance, auto white balance. I
Mhm.
just kind of did that in there and then just like you said, crop it down just to get where I feel the important part is that you want to get the emphasis of it.
Thank you.
Then what I do all the time, a lot of my photos is because the emphasis is on the faces. I would use a radial gradient and make a little vignette around it. So the outside is kind of a little bit darkened, but the faces are still light.
And you know, what as he's describing, we use, like with that radial gradient, you put on there, but then you get the invert button, and what that does is it will now affect your adjustment will be on everything except for the faces, it'll be on the outside. And then just take that exposure or highlights then down a little bit, and that will give you, again, not a real super obvious vignette, but it'll bring the attention right to the subject.
Yeah, you want to make it subtle.
And like I said, I don't even use, I use highlights. I bring the highlights down and then I'll bring the whites down. So it's very gradual. It's not a dramatic increase in the darkening.
Thank you. That was a lovely.
But I thought this might help show what
Yes.
you might be talking about on it.
Thank you.
But very sharp, very beautiful.
Yeah, very nice, beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
They must have liked you there.
Yeah.
The eyes and things.
So I have taken almost 200 pictures because there was a.
Okay, this next picture is called Abandoned House. It's Peter Lindvig.
There's Peter who's on the line. He's muted. I don't, if you want to comment on it, Peter, this is your image. You could unmute yourself.
Well, give this a shot. I haven't done this before. Do I come in okay?
Yeah, great.
It just was one that happened to work out literally in the middle of nowhere. And I was using a converted infrared camera to get this shot, and I had to freehand it. Didn't have a lot of time because the locals passing by, I do not think were comfortable with me being around in that area. That and the rustling and grunting in the brush next to me, I think we were too close to a bear, but yeah, free-handed and passed by and just had to take time to shoot this house, and took me several days trying to get some of the highlights out of it, but it worked out. At least I like it.
Well, the only thing I see is it's a beautiful picture. I like the gradations, the color tones black and white tones you have there, and the multiple grays. You have some branches on the right side that I think could be removed and would really enhance it.
Those always were distracting to me, but I have not tried removing them to see what that turned out to look like, but that's definitely something that I will definitely try.
Yeah, just because they're coming in from the corner, right there, as Jane pointed out, that it would be a fairly easy fix either in Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever program that you use. And it should do a pretty quick job of that. The other thing is, again, just experimenting. I like the composition. I like everything else that you have in there. Maybe crop up a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot of the grasses in the foreground are nice, but maybe crop it up a little bit. And I myself also have an infrared converted camera, and I was going to compliment you on this one here, is that the exposure is real good, and you picked a great scene for infrared that gets converted to black and white. These are the kind of scenes that I wish I would come across more often myself.
a great old house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Just wish I could find the history of it.
Yeah, it's a good, it just,
Oh.
when I see something like this, you just imagine the story that this house has,
Hmm.
years and years and years of use. And that. So I like these types of images.
If you know the general location, it might be worth putting it into one of the AI tools and asking if it knows what the history is. You'll be surprised.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow.
A lot of information on property assessor websites to property searches and find out who, some history on the, selling and ownership and that kind of stuff.
It looks like it was a pretty unique building when it was
Yeah.
newer, so.
But I agree with Michael, you've got a considerable amount of foreground in the image and it kind of, it's because it's brighter than the house as the subject, it kind of pulls you away a little bit, so. I agree with Michael on cropping some of the grass out.
You could bring that down.
I really like the textures and I think the subject it tells like a really interesting story. I think you may have tilted the camera up a little bit when you took the shot and because it looks like the vertical lines are converging towards the center a little bit and there's a pretty easy adjustment you can make in Lightroom to straighten them out if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I could try that. Thank you.
Okay, next one is Artists at Work. This is also by Peter.
That's just one of my favorite people I like going to see every year. It's actually taken at the Renaissance Fair, and she just takes a picture and draws it out and paints it with chalk and is phenomenal and was just trying to capture her at work, just trying to bring out what she does.
I love the story of this picture. Like you say, the artists at work there. The thing that I see is the lightest areas are drawn to the white chalk and her leg up above, and maybe the little chalk down below. I think you may want to emphasize the hand more. Be showing her at work, so.
For me, if you go and see her every year and do this, I can see that the sleeve is very crisp and the hand is just a little perhaps soft. And when you have a photo that, she's obviously blurring the chalk. So in the future, I would either make sure the hand blurs or make the hand crisp. But these photos that are kind of in between, where you don't know if you just took a blurry image or not, are difficult sometimes, I mean, I would almost opt for going for a slower shutter speed and really show that she's, blurring out that chalk. I mean, you could probably fake it a little bit in Photoshop, do a blur, Gaussian blur with a motion, but like Jane was saying, the hands are so important that sometimes having a photo that's just a little soft is annoying.
I took the liberty of doing a few things on it. To see transferring the emphasis to the hand and darkening the back area and the white chalk so that you can just see the hands. I don't know if everyone likes this version of it, but I just wanted to show how you can change that with your radial gradients, etc., to try to emphasize it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, draws it out to the hands.
And I might try cropping down to the basket or whatever, and because the leg still even in that one bothers me a little bit.
Right, I didn't work on it totally, but yeah.
Very
That's
nice.
great advice. Thank you.
Good subject.
This is mine, baby, it's cold outside. It just, It was a very cold day, as you can see.
Is that a puffer bird?
No.
Puffer fish. That's cute.
Middle are just fluffed up, so.
Keep it warm.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like the juxtaposition of the, like, hanging on this thin little wire and he's so big and fluffy. That's great.
The contrast. Yes, square crop works really good there too.
Is it sitting on a fence?
Yep,
Did you consider taking out the vertical at all?
Yeah, that kind of bothers.
Looks like it's going up the
Right.
backside.
Yeah,
yeah, I really hadn't thought about it, I just,
Why its feathers are fluffed.
yeah.
Take out all the wires and have it just hanging there.
Thank you, Fritz.
Take out the horizontal. It's a magic bird.
Then clone in like a North Face logo on the.
Yeah, on the jacket, yeah.
There you go. Down, still a down feathers.
Nice detail, very nice.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
so sharp.
Thank you.
What'd you take that with?
This one's called Cowgirl, Michael Rhino.
Yeah, yeah.
Jane, did you hear? She was asking like
What did you take your photo with?
is that a long lens or?
Oh, yeah, it was a long lens.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it took off right away, you know, it didn't like us around there. So,
Yeah, so this is, let's see, a couple weeks ago, I have a friend who's participating in an upcoming pageant, and so she wanted some photos just for leading up to that and that. So we have another friend who has a place out in Sedalia with 3 horses, 4 goats, 3 dogs, cats, chickens, and all this. So anyways, we took some photos of her beside the horses, on riding horses and that, but I came across this scene here with where I was able to just use some natural light. It was close to sunset, so it's natural light that's coming on her. And I wanted to find a setting where at least things went a little bit darker back behind her so that it would stand out. So this is what I came up with there. I cropped it to where I framed it right around the doorway that leads into the barn. I may have missed a little bit of the edge over on the lower left. I can fix that one. There was some brightness that was coming in from the back there where there's a kind of a window that's back towards the back. I did darken that fairly a fair amount compared to how it was initially. I don't know if I could have darkened it a little bit more, but that was one of the things I did. But aside from that, really didn't do a whole lot of it. I did do a little bit of retouching with Evoto. It's a program that I use for retouching people. So I did a little bit of light retouching with that, but that's what I did with it.
I think the darkening you did in the background looks perfectly natural. That looks really good. And I love the framing, the way you've got it. Everything's straight. You got an equal amount at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you pose models very well, but I happen to know that she's a model and does Mrs. America, right?
It's Mrs. Colorado.
Mrs. Colorado. So she's got the separation from her arms.
Yeah.
So that you can see her figure goes in. She's put her feet together so that you see the hips, and then it goes down to something slimmer. And then you've like Bruce said, is the shadow detail in the back is just perfect because you can see that the square windows in the back mimic the square opening that she's in, and you've allowed again squares on either side. If it were me, I would make the squares on either side or exactly the same size as the doorway maybe.
Okay.
But you were able to catch light up underneath the brim of the cowboy hat, which is impossible if you've ever taken photos of people with a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, I made sure I had her head tilt up a little bit there to get that light on there. It's not tilted high, but when she had kind of looked down a little bit, I was running into the issue like you're talking about, shadows going by across her.
Yeah, really really outstanding. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say maybe add a little bit to the bottom, but it matches so well with the
It's
top that
great.
I don't know that I would do it.
And as you pointed out, I wasn't the first camera she's been in front of, so, yeah, I mean, I kind of gave some direction on posing. She knows pretty much how to do it. Last year, she was the runner-up at the Mrs. Colorado pageant. So.
Oh, well, in that case,
Did you photo her eyes and teeth?
Very lightly, very,
Yes.
does it look like it's,
Oh,
too much?
her eyes on the, I've been trying to look on your screen.
Yeah.
But
Feel like too bright,
they really, the eyes look like she's crazy.
unnaturally, okay.
But on the big screen.
On the big screen up there, it looks different than.
Yes.
Yeah.
What it
It's
looks
better
on
on
my
the computer.
on my computer, I don't.
It looks
I
very-
didn't give her the alien look, I know on the links that I did, so, but you're right, up on the screen for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're really
They
staring.
look, they
Yeah.
look unnatural up there, but I don't believe they did whenever I zoomed in.
Yeah, it's hard when you look at the big screen.
Well, Michael, I would remove some of the things right in here,
Okay,
darken that. With
okay,
those, they were distracting, and this
Sure.
line right here.
yeah,
And she's got a little something coming out right there,
good
and the
point.
little straw.
Okay, good point. Great, thank you.
So I did a little.
You don't have to do anything.
Already done.
So
I'll just.
I just
I'll
did a
screenshot
little
that.
white balance adjustment and then just got rid of those things, and that's all I did to it.
Okay, well, thank you. No, thank you for the improvements. I appreciate it. Thanks.
So just, I wanted to show what without it.
Great, thank you.
Nice job with natural light.
Oh, I like that. This one's called February Morning Approach to the Capitol Top Browns Buff. It's Ray Johnson.
Oh, yeah, so, this is not my type of picture normally, but we were going to the Capitol to do the, workshop, and, I'd taken the, bus down 16th Street Mall, the free bus, and got off of it just there. And the clouds and the light were quite, interesting around the Capitol, so having learned that that's now Brown's Buff, I had to put that in the title. And so I captured that one while I was on the way to meet Michael and the rest of the people.
Yeah, by the way, thank you for those that came that day. We had a lot of fun up in downtown. We went inside the Capitol and outside and did some other things and had a blast.
One thing I would do here is I would take a few steps forward to get rid of that awning or roof that's on the upper left.
Yes.
Yeah. And one other thing that you can do too, anytime when I have buildings and that to try and straighten up the lines, there's the building that's over there on the left. I can't tell as much, say with the Capitol building, it's straight, but in the transform.
I tried
Yeah.
using the transform.
Oh, did it not straighten? up
Because
that
it's
building?
I took it with the 16mm.
Yep.
And it was really in, and as we were going off to do the birds, I didn't spend too much time trying.
Sure. Yeah, the
But
building on the left
I
still has a
agree.
little slant
Yeah,
to it.
I could see it here now.
And some of the stuff on the right too,
Mm,
far right in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, anytime you use like a 16mm is a very wide angle. Buildings and so forth, and that tend to naturally have that convergence thing in there, so sometimes just in, I'll say Lightroom, the transform, just hitting auto gets it pretty close, sometimes it doesn't get it all the way there.
and if you went a little bit to the left, you could maybe separate that other tall thing from the Capitol, if you wanted to.
Yeah, the big problem I was having there was it was more of a quick photo because there was a lot of
What people wrote, or?
yeah, rather unsavory types.
Yeah. Other than you.
Yeah, other than me. Well, they were keeping away from me.
Ah.
So I didn't spend much time there taking a picture of it. I just saw it, then I was off to meet the others.
I don't know if there's a way to get a little bit more light on the Capitol building, since that's the subject, but then
Yeah.
it ends up being kind of the darker piece of it. I don't know if just, again, in Lightroom, select subject, select object, and kind of like use that part and maybe bring up a little bit of the either shadows or exposure and that just in there, not unnaturally, but to the point where then it doesn't become one of the darker parts of the scene.
Okay.
Just to try, I don't know that that'll improve it or not.
Forgotten Leaves, Bruce Norman.
Oh. So I was in Tokyo, Japan, and I had a photographer take me around for half a day in kind of the older part of Tokyo. And there was this kind of like abandoned building, and this window has that frosted glass on it, and all these leaves were pushing up against it. And I thought it was interesting.
Oh,
I didn't know if that was a.
Texture.
Yeah,
Looking like a.
I just stole the words out of my mouth. Because at first I thought I saw it and I thought, oh, you applied like a texture, which I love. I like the way it is, but naturally you had that.
Yeah, no, that's
without
what
it.
it was. Yeah. All I did was increase the contrast a little bit and the saturation a little bit.
Yeah, good idea. I thought it was like under ice or something.
Right, I was thinking that one also, yeah. No, that came out great. And just the tones that throughout, with some of the reds and some of the tans and some of the browns and all that just really works well.
Yeah, nice colors.
nice abstract on it. Yeah.
Well, when we have the dried leaf subject matter for
You got a winner.
might submit that.
Go back there and just move the
Deadly.
camera, now you have intentional camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, the man from the intentional camera movie was on about
Yeah.
leaves,
There you go.
moving them about.
Okay.
Framing the shot. This is Ray's.
Oh, it looks cut off now. Yeah, this is Michael showing us how to take Jane's photograph.
Right. Well, we must
And it goes with the one that follows up afterwards later. And so I caught him taking this picture there. He was showing us how to frame the shot. And then you'll see mine that's not very good, but.
to Ray's point, I was stealing Jane's composition. Shows when she was there, so she's the one who gets credit for the outcome on those ones.
So this is more light-hearted.
The guy coming down the stairs looks like he's gonna eject.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, he was strange. He wanted us to take his photograph.
See, I thought you were taking a nice architectural and Michael was photobombing you. Jumping in there.
But I mean, just as far as like, comments and so forth, I think it looks good. Maybe there's a little bit of like the bright reflection that's back over on the
Yeah, I can see
marble in
that.
the background that if you wanted to take that out, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that it should, I mean, it was naturally there, but just a couple of those little
Right.
highlights that are kind of drawing the eye to those spots, but
Okay.
otherwise, aside from me in there, everything else looks pretty good.
you might want to tone down the brightness of the lights if you could.
Yeah, I was thinking if that was mine, I might try and mask the lights and change the white balance just a little bit to warmer,
Okay.
as well as tone it down, just to see what that looked like.
Mm.
But yeah, it's pretty,
But as an action shot,
but as an action shot, that,
caught Michael with the chicken wings.
yeah.
I unlike others, have not taken posing lessons in that, so.
If it's a movie poster, you need a title. That's all I'm saying.
You haven't taken modeling lessons, you
I
say?
definitely have not.
Okay, this one's title is Girl in Window Light. It's by Linda Markham.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your picture.
That's my granddaughter. And she is looking at her little newborn baby sister. And she's right in, let's see, the window is a southern facing window. And yeah, that's it.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. She's a beautiful girl.
So nice and soft.
Yeah.
I kind of thought I blew out the highlights a little bit now that I'm looking at the left side of her face with her hair. I think I blew those out some.
I think it's okay.
There's still detail there. If I'm looking at it right, I don't know what the histogram shows or whatever, but I mean, it's bright, but the understanding that the light's coming in from that side of it, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't look blown out, but.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love the black and white treatment.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
She's beautiful.
Thanks very much. She's the only girl we have in the long line of boys.
Well, then you better take a lot of pictures.
Oh, yeah, I will.
I don't know if this is little noise or what in this area. This is just a little bit of texture in here. I'm not sure what that is, how to describe that. Is that denoise, or did you try denoising that a little?
Well, I put it through Topaz. Maybe that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
And I really wish her left eye was not so dark, but she was just right there in the shadow, and then the shadow of her nose. Yeah, that's true. Her left eye is too dark, and then there's all that darkness around her eye.
It was kind of like pixely little, texture there.
Oh, yeah.
You could use a radial gradient and lighten it just a little bit. So it looks
Just a touch.
natural.
So just put a radial gradient and then increase the exposure some?
Just a hair.
Or increase like even just shadows. So
Oh, yeah, just the shadows. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go back and do that.
I mean, I wouldn't screw with it too much
Yeah.
because you want that tech, that you can see
Where the light's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it's you want it a light and a dark side.
right.
Now, on my screen, I see a few little hairs right here. I like the wispy hairs over here, but maybe just a little off her face, you might remove a couple of those little small ones.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very touching.
Thank you.
This next one is called Lake Superior Tree. It's Peters.
That one was just heading to the Porcupine Mountains in Michigan, and we missed getting keys to our cabin by 15 minutes, so we had to stay at the hotel and just kind of walked along the water and saw this tree and was kind of, again, just playing around with my infrared camera. It was definitely early stages at that time, and was just trying to see what I could get with it.
Yeah, I'll start again myself, doing infrared myself, also the infrared converted camera. And look for scenes like this right here. It's interesting, especially when you have trees, and especially when you have anything with foliage. And then when you have, say, like a blue sky, just the contrast that you get in here. So great situation for it. Great situation for infrared. So you get, again, as soon as it popped up, I knew immediately it was infrared, and I like it. A couple of things that I just had on there was, once again, maybe crop a little bit of the lower part of it, and then over on the right side, there's a tree that's coming in. There's the one that's barren, which is fine, but then there's the one that's kind of has a little bit of it coming in. Maybe crop it to the left of that, and then to preserve your aspect ratio, maybe take a little bit up off the bottom, and maybe even just a touch off of the top sky, and kind of bring the eye more right into that main tree, and then still leaving the barren tree over there on the right, but crop off the parts that are sticking in from another tree over that's beside that.
Oh, that makes sense. That's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of cropping, but like I said, and I do this all the time, is I keep it initially wide a bit, and then I'll later crop it into what feels like it makes a better scene. And I'm not saying that those adjustments will, you know, it's your taste also in that as far as what you like, but that's just the way I would probably do a couple cropping adjustments, but otherwise everything's good.
Looking down, Michael Rhino.
Yeah. So we talked about that we were Capitol building. For those that haven't done it, it's a lot of fun. They let you walk around with cameras taking pictures. And this happened to be kind of a busy day there. There was a big event. Press was there. Polis was there. They had, as we were walking in on the front steps, I think there were like 3 podiums up there with speeches going on and camera crews and news people. So we were kind of concerned that inside it was going to be pretty messy with people, but really it wasn't. They sort of cleared out, and there were groups that came in. So I was able to take the shot with nobody in it also at times, but I intentionally took this one when there was a group of, I think there were students in that are there at the bottom. A couple of them were pointing up. I don't know that they were pointing at me. I think they were just pointing from down there. You can see up at the ceiling and that. And one of our members, Darren White, was there with his tripod measuring out a interesting composition that he found over there. So I just thought it was kind of an interesting scene with him there. Once again, me getting one of our members with a camera in hand. And there's I can't remember what my shutter speed was, but you can see the people that are walking quickly. You get a little bit of motion blur on there, which I was okay with in this type of a scene. To be honest, I'm not sure what's going on over there on the right. There's somebody that looks like feet that are hanging out, and I could
I think
probably
that's Helen's feet.
I could take that
It's a
piece
good
out
body.
probably. I just didn't yet. But.
Did you mask the lamps down, the brightness?
I mean, I didn't mask them out. No, I did not. I just took down the highlights with the highlight slider that naturally brought them down some, but I didn't mask. I didn't do like a luminosity masking thing on those and bring that down specifically. But
Perfect shot, though.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I love the
Great.
composition. I'd like to see one where you have a really slow shutter speed and you see the people moving a little more obviously. Just to see, it'd be hard to get just the perfect.
It would from that perspective, and I'll tell you why, because I had to hold my hand over.
Oh, you're not on a
I
tripod.
wasn't on a tripod.
Oh, okay.
So to
Never
go
mind.
too slow, I'm gonna probably get everything else. The whole thing will be blurry. Now we have intentional camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unintentional, call it that. But yeah, that was that was part of the issues. From where I was, if I put it on a tripod, I couldn't get the whole rail, that
Right.
front rail that comes all the way through. That wouldn't show up.
That's you.
Had to make sure I didn't drop the camera, but I had to strap her on my neck.
Yeah, I was thinking, somebody took that picture, you must have been hanging off some.
Yeah. Knowing that spot, I know you had to be. The symmetry is awesome on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things you might try as an iteration, and I hate to talk and think at the same time, but if thinking about the rule of like odds isn't necessarily exact amount of people, but like groups of people. So if you were to take Darren and clone him out, and then that guy cloning him out,
Yeah.
you'd have a group on the right, you'd have a woman on the left, and then a group in the middle. So there'd be like
Oh,
3 separate
Yeah.
groups.
right.
And
That might be good.
yeah, I mean, and just as a possible iteration, and
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if that would be better or worse, but it would be interesting.
And the lower right and lower left.
Take out
There's
those.
not enough detail to know what that is.
Yeah.
So I maybe just get rid of that.
Get rid of it and have generative fill figure out what's supposed to go there.
I like it how it kind of anchors the composition though in the corners. And I had a similar thought about like iterating with maybe less people, but for whatever reason, I don't know, is it Darren or someone, I keep getting drawn to the person on the stairs.
Yeah.
Like there's like a storytelling element to that, and like there's like a connection to the environment that the other people may not like have it as much. And I think it might be interesting to see a version with just like that person and the stairs and then the environment.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, all great ideas.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice.
Love it.
Man in Shadows. This is Linda Markhams. And here's the man.
Is Linda here?
Okay,
Yeah, she's muted
portrait
right now.
people.
She's muted.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Mark showed up all dressed up to the mansion. We were very proud. We said, Karina said dress to impress, and Mark took them seriously.
And you noticed last time, all the Canon people that did that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? So I was
Very
pretty
nice.
excited about that.
Yeah,
Couple of things I noticed. One, you cut off his feet.
Yeah.
So people, is that, you're supposed to cut off, don't cut off at the feet, don't cut off at the knees,
and at the joints.
Yeah.
the joints,
So
okay?
the easy solution here is just go up a little bit, so you can still go below the knee, but just above the ankle. On the portrait, if you just don't have it come
Yeah,
coming right at the ankles, so.
I saw that. I was bummed that I did that.
Oh, but that's an easy fix, just in cropping, that's all.
And then if you came up a little bit, then you cut the carpeting out or cut it right where the carpet comes
Yeah.
across.
Mm.
So then
Maybe
the frame
that's
starts off with the studs.
below the knee, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough crop no matter what you do, you know what I mean? You don't want to come up too high because then you cut off the bottom of the door. And you certainly lost his feet there, so it's a tweener.
Yeah.
Linda, it looks like there's somebody's light and diffuser or a reflector the
Here's
other
it's
side.
part of the light here,
Was it a
and
reflector?
then, and then here's part of the light here.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So if you crop that, and you could,
That's the.
in Photoshop, probably take the part that's reflecting in the window, and then maybe on the
Oh, I didn't
right,
even notice that. Right, yeah.
on the right side, just crop it in a little bit towards the
Yeah.
left, to take that out, and then for a portrait, you're okay, usually the rule of thirds of that, but in a portrait like this, you could still be center frame, and it would work.
Mhm.
I would take out this little piece right here. Looks like it's an outlet right there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with Photoshop, it should be able to fill it in with something that would look appropriate.
So I took the liberty.
Ah,
And I did that. I took the door handles out, I took this out here. Just cropped it in, I just kind of darkened it on the sides a little bit here. And I took a little bit of the brightness to make this a little more natural in here.
right.
Darkened the hands just a little.
I kind of like having more of the door in there.
Me
myself.
too. I like the door and the stone.
Yeah.
I like it
Yeah.
before better.
It was just a thought, an idea.
Yeah.
And maybe just don't crop it quite as tight, but crop
Yeah.
some of those other elements out of it on the sides, but still leaving some of this, more of the stone, and down to what David pointed out on the,
I just didn't want to crop it at the knees.
right.
Yeah, it's a difficult crop. It really is.
Just photograph his feet and put the two together.
Take some from one, each of them, right?
Yeah.
It looks great, I mean, that was a fun morning also, thank you again.
That was so fun. Now I want one of those 85 millimeter lenses. Oh,
Oh.
Carino had one. That was fun.
I like the catchlight in his eyes. That was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
came out great.
Okay, this is Mile High Bride. It's Ray's.
Oh, so we were having some instruction from Michael about taking pictures. And then these people came walking into our shop. but she stood on the stairs, so I thought, oh, I'll get a picture of her while she's there.
You should have yelled at her and told her to look at you.
And well, she was looking up at the guy.
There was a photographer there taking.
Oh.
He's at the bar.
What the heck with them?
And there was a guy running around, so I've got lots of unintentional camera movement pictures.
Unintentional camera.
Yeah. And so this one was her face is a little bit blurry, but this was the best one I got. So it was very they weren't posing for us.
Is that for like a quinceañeras or something?
Could be,
It's
yeah.
a-
I-
Looks like it.
Yeah, she turned,
Oh, is that what it was?
yeah.
But she was like a bride because there was all these people like bridesmaids and.
Yes, they.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Did
Well-
you not put a dress on when you were 15 or something?
No, not till 18. So, yeah.
Again, there's a couple bright spots on
Yeah.
the back wall. And again, we couldn't like give her instruction on, hey, could you move like just a foot to the right? Meaning that then if you could separate her from that rail, meaning
Yeah.
if you look like where her hair's falling back, if she could be moved a little bit to the right, then you would have separation of her from the posts up there. I do like though, and Darren was talking about this, the angles, trying to have like lines and diagonals and things like that meet up at the corner. Got that going on for sure over there on that left side. So I like a lot of.
I would-
Yeah.
I would tone down that triangle though. I mean, the problem you have with lighting inside that triangle that's under the stairs and to the edge of the, is that you can start seeing the what it says there. And if you have something written in a photo, people will read it, and you just want to stop them from doing that. It's taking the focus off your picture. So when you darken it down, then you don't have that concern as much.
And darken that thing on the right too, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pillar on the right-hand side is a little unfortunate because it is bright and large. It kind of takes away from her a bit.
Yeah, that pillar
You know,
was where the lamp
like-
is.
It's the lights that are right above it. Then you could darken it like in luminosity masking.
Right.
You could
Okay.
take it down with that. It's kind of tricky. And also on this one here might be a candidate kind of for what Karina was saying too, is do the, the subject and do like that radial gradient, invert it and darken a little bit of the outside of it,
Yeah.
bring the attention back over to her.
Right.
Quite a dress.
No,
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
wow. This is called Orchid One. This is Carino's.
Yeah, in preparation for our macro close-up little workshop there, I went down to the botanical gardens and took some photos of their orchard display that they have. And this was done with a flash.
Okay.
And what I did is just the same thing like when you use a flash. I made sure all the background was dark. And then use the flash.
And especially with a flash, the background is further away than the fall off of light. So
Right.
you're able to make your subject stand out from that. Whereas if you didn't use the flash, it probably would be distracting if that
Right.
has equal amount of light that's coming in naturally in that, right? So that worked.
So how long did you have to search around and have 3 flowers all going in the same direction like that?
Not much. There were so many beautiful orchids down there, so many. That was beautiful.
It really wasn't difficult.
Yeah, there were so many.
Because I like that symmetry where they're all got that top thing kind of going in the same direction and it's just really pleasing.
And it's just from those classes that we, took on portraiture. Darken the background. And then use the flash for your lighting.
Was it a macro lens? Was it a
Yes,
dedicated
macro lens.
Did you use the same flash that we used in the photo session, or
No.
was it an on-camera flash?
No, it was an on-camera flash.
Okay.
It's
It's a ring.
a ring flash.
Okay.
It fits around my lens.
Right, right. That came out nice.
There's another version of it.
Green.
Oh, you really darkened out the background.
Yeah. And then just brought out some of that when we're in the colors.
Yeah. That's good too.
And this is another one, Orchid 2 Koreans.
Yeah, same thing. They had so many different
Well, I know.
varieties of orchids and so many different colors. It's an awesome place to go take photos. The same process, the flash.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good. That technique really did bring us out, didn't it? Yeah.
And then Orchid 3,
Yeah, this is another one down there.
Did you use Chat GPT to come up with those titles?
I think last time Jane did that with the birds, right? Bird one.
I don't know the name, I'll play just 1, 2, and 3.
Bird 1, Bird 2.
Orchid 3. and
Orchid
I'm thinking
3,
there's 4.
Well, this should have been Orchid 4 because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat GPT was lazy that day.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance, you know, if you're doing macro, go down to the Botanical Gardens. So many beautiful things down there.
Oh, I like
And then this is Orchid 4. Maybe 3.
Just the beautiful colors. Yeah, plants. Just amazing.
Yeah, the texture on them and that really came through nicely.
Yeah, I think I like this one the best, and I
Yeah,
really love
me
how
too.
sharp they all are.
Very sharp.
But see, that was against the window was backlit, so there was. a
Yeah,
lot
you
of
can
light.
see that, yeah.
Yeah, that might be something to try, just take the background and say, get rid of it, you know,
Yeah. Black it.
You
Just
didn't
make-
do like focused, I mean, were they all right on the same plane like that?
Well, what I did was a high f-stop. Some of them were 22,
Yeah,
30.
yeah.
Because it was so bright.
Okay, and because of what I was gonna say too, is like sometimes on a macro lens, even with those, you know, F16 and the higher numbers and so forth. If they're not on the same plane, it just treats depth of field differently than like a normal 24-70 lens or something like that. So sometimes it's hard to get, but you got where it's in focus all the way
Yeah.
across, so if they're on the same plane. It works, but sometimes with a macro lens, you get that fall off in focus, but
Yeah, just to make the background darker, you know, just have a real high f-stop.
okay, yeah.
Make not all of them in focus.
Yeah.
This one's called Peace in the Valley, Kathy Sneed.
I just found this place and thought it looked peaceful and would be a candidate for infrared. But with the trees without leaves, I chose to shoot it on a day that had clouds. So, and I've got questions. I heard people say they had infrared cameras. I'm using a 720 filter, but I've got a camera I'm going to convert. And I've heard about, instead of picking one thing like 720, you can convert it so that you use filters and you can get, 720 and the 500, and you can also do ultraviolet light. Has anybody done that?
So I have not, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm trying to remember the term for it, but. Yeah, you can get them converted to that, and then you're right, there are separate filters that you get to get the different frequencies in that, so. The infrared converted camera that I have is similar to what you're talking about, is the 720 nanometer conversion, and so. It tends to work best in converting just to black and white, but to your point, with some of those other, I'll say frequencies or whatever in that. Trying to remember what the term is for getting one converted in that form, and then you use those other filters. Then you can get some of those ones with the colored adjustments and, you know, really get those intense, different kind of colors in that that are interesting.
Right.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't have one that's been done like that, but it does give you a little bit more flexibility to do different things with it. I don't know if that's different, you know, because we can also, even with the camera, the standard cameras that we have, put an infrared filter on the top of that. The only thing is that it blocks a lot of light and it actually acts like as a 10-stop neutral density filter. So you have to, you can't photograph moving subjects with it, and you have to go kind of longer exposures with it. I don't know if when you use that type of camera and you're putting those other filters on, if it has that same kind of effect of you know, blocking out light. But I don't know that.
I'm going to have to call the conversion company
Right.
because you're right. Like the 720 filter I have, it blocks so much light. So it really,
Yeah, so if
you know, it's just harder to pick something to shoot, and you have to make sure you don't have any wind, hopefully, unless you want that effect.
Yeah, and like I said, I have a camera that was actually converted, so I don't have, with that, I don't have to put a filter on the front, so it doesn't block the light, so I can just hand hold it and do the normal things. When you put a filter on there, it came out beautifully, by the way. I was going to compliment you on it. I like the composition. I like everything that you have on here. But to answer your question, I'm not sure on that on that other type of conversion, what to do, or if it blocks light, similar to what filters do on these.
Okay, thanks.
And Kathleen, Peter left a message here on the
Oh, full spectrum, that's the term. Yeah, full spectrum is what he's talking about. Yeah.
Full spectrum, exactly. Yeah. That's what, and I think that's what I'm going to do if it, especially if it doesn't result in having these long exposures.
Yeah, and he may be able to answer that question that we had as far as with the full spectrum, when we put those other filters on it, do they block light, or is it just changing the frequency without having to go with a long exposure and keeping
right.
Nice picture. I like how the trees are coming right into the center. And the lines lead out right up to it. It's just all focused right onto the chapel there.
Hey, you know that I have another question for the infrared photographers. When you get around to processing it, there's a lot of choices. And I'm just not, I haven't found any good
what is he saying?
Books on it or anything.
I've got a couple books at home. I'll get something. I don't know the titles of them right offhand and that, but I have a couple books on it. And you know, just to be honest, like whenever I go into it, I'll do
just didn't know if we're gonna have time.
Yeah. Just for the sake of time and that, I'll follow up with you on that and let you know what books I.
Oh, okay, thank you. I didn't want to take too much time.
Yeah, and just for the sake of time, I just use Nik Silver Effects Pro usually with my black and white conversions. I do that with my infrared images also.
Yeah, it does take up a lot of time to talk about it, so I'll just stop here.
Any other comments? This one's called Pottery in Window Light, Linda Markham.
Yeah, that was a east facing window around 11 a.m. And yeah, it was just pretty, everything just worked out pretty well. I didn't do much processing and it was just a good amount of light.
Yeah, I like the subject. I love the pottery.
Yeah.
Nice composition though. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the light and shadow. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the only thing that's a little distracting is the stem of the eucalyptus.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
yeah.
That stem.
Mhm.
It's just a bright spot
Yeah,
in that otherwise the shadow area, right?
yeah, that's all. But lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really nice.
I thought it could might do all right cropped a little. That was an idea of it being cropped a little. And then,
Oh,
and then
I like
And
the
then-
reflection in the table, more of the reflection of all three pots. So it's kind of what I was
Mhm.
chopped it like I did. Composed it actually.
Gotcha.
So maybe one crop could be similar to what Jane just did, but this maybe make it kind of vertical, like a vertical crop where you're still you won't be losing that reflection part of it.
Yeah.
Take a little bit off of the sides as a possibility. You like it just like that? Yeah, that's it.
Any comments? Any? Okay. Lovely picture.
Thank you.
Oh, so this is one I was taking pictures of, they had me go out and, he was doing his mountain biking, so this was over in Golden, and, nothing really unique to it, just kind of an action shot. I haven't done a whole lot of those in that, so, just had to make sure it was kind of it wasn't sunset all the way, but where he was, it was definitely shady and it was kind of brighter back there in the background and that, so nothing special about it other than just making sure that I kept the shutter speed fast. I think I kept it at like 1/1000th of a second or something like that. And so I had to push the ISO up a little bit, but otherwise not a whole lot to it. I just he was riding, he wasn't stationary, he was riding. I was taking photos as he was riding down, and this is just one of them that I came up with. And I did try to make sure that his shoulders and head were like kind of above that horizon line. I didn't want that to cut across his neck or head, so it was, I was conscious of that. So hopefully I got that part of it okay.
Yeah, it looks great. Did you try any with a lower angle where you were looking?
You know, the thing was there were those weeds that were right there.
Yeah, I
So
see that.
for me to get down lower, it just brought those weeds. I guess I could have moved up the trail a little bit further or whatever in that and got and not been in those. If I tried to like move to my right, then I'm gonna get run over. If I do.
Yeah,
that,
but you gotta sacrifice for the job.
A good point that maybe something lower and then really have the profile up a little bit higher could have been a possibility.
You got some distractions here. Right?
Yeah. There were like buildings and grass and all that kind of stuff in that. I mean, I went, I think it was like F4 or something like that on my settings probably. But yeah, it's true. There's a little bit of that I could probably.
I noticed when you were doing your blurring,
Mhm.
you didn't get quite in these spots right here. Right there.
I think you're, okay. I'll take a harder look at that.
I like the color of his jacket with the ground cover and stuff.
Yeah, when we first got out there and it was kind of breezy, it was one of those days, it was like breezy. And because he was gonna take that off and then, then it's like black, the entire suit. And I thought, no, the contrast of that worked, so I asked them to leave that on.
Nice.
Another thing I may suggest is just the background
Uh-huh.
in Lightroom, do a sky and just maybe a little bit of blue tint.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I darkened the sky a little bit, but I didn't do anything in terms of
Both his yellow jacket.
the coloring of it. Oh, I got you. Right. Then you get the complementary colors, so, okay, great, good idea.
So this was just another version, just taking out those bright spots.
Yep.
And then I did a light white balance adjustment and it took out a little more of the blue. He had more blue in him,
Okay.
in his skin tones and blacks here. And then I took those stones out. I don't know. I think I like the stones in there myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those kind of things. I left them in because that's part of the trail
Yeah,
and part of
yeah.
it shows that it's more difficult than if it's just
Yeah.
kind of leaving in some of the element of, having to ride overlocks and things like that was part of my idea why I left them in there, but
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, this one is called Silent Tides of Sand. This is Jeff Woodard.
Yeah, this is Lana. This was down at the Great Sand Dunes. Yeah, I was just using the long lens. I was on one of the pullouts there by the visitor center and noticed the clouds passing through the dunes, and this was just a cropped photo of one of those sections. So, and I did put this was about an hour and a half after sunset or sunrise, sorry. And I was gonna put a cool tint on it.
You said long lens, what kind of lens were you using?
I was probably all the way out of 400.
Wow. That's a certain,
Light is really gorgeous.
yeah.
It's beautiful, Jeff,
Thank you.
and it's different from the usual sand dune images.
Exactly,
that we see.
exactly,
Yeah.
right, that, yeah. In fact, when it first came up, as many, I've been to the sand dunes a few times, and I see a lot of other sand dune pictures. To Allison's point, when it first came up, I thought, is that the Great Sand Dunes or is this someplace else? The fact that I had asked that question is exactly what Allison was pointing out. It's unique.
It looks like the White Plains dunes.
Yeah, there's a second photo I've seen with the telephoto lens of the sand dunes, and so they're awesome. It really came out nice.
Yeah, the light and shadows and the shapes and the lines are great.
And so many people try to include too much, and this is just getting right to the, one of the scenes within a bigger scene. It's great, really great.
I'm not sure if the light spot in the V at the very bottom might be a little distracting.
And I was also concerned with this a little distracting there. So I tried a couple of different crops just to see what it might look like. This was just with that, getting the one off to the right or to the left off. And then this was just doing it that way.
That's interesting too.
But I think there's several images within the one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Beautiful shot though.
Yeah, I'll see.
I like the coloring, the blue and the. This next picture is called Sisters. Shashi.
Yes. So this, I was in India, and these girls, I do a charity work, and these girls asked them to dress themselves up because every year I distribute the sweaters in a village. And so they came up with their own beautiful dresses, and the way, and I took it with my cell phone, but I just love it, the way other one is looking in the eye, and all three of them. It's just, it was in a color, but I put in black and white. I really loved the way they were, and the beautiful girls, and I should have time, happiness with nothing, that's kind of be these girls were, and I just love it. It's on cell phone, I just turn in the black and white, but how the other one is looking, and all four of them on the different angles.
Yeah, the story with the one looking.
Yeah.
That is a lot of what makes it so nice. And
Yeah,
I like the dark background.
Some eyes are very I just, and their sizes, like it's just.
It's clear that you take good photos as far as emotion and connection. It's really special the way you can see that, and even with the deer, and it's just really special. I understand that the backgrounds are usually complex and probably would take away from the emotion of the four girls, but the real darkness, the real blackness seems to be just a little bit heavy-handed, in my opinion. I think you probably eliminate a lot of the distracting elements just by changing it to black and white, because I imagine the colors are crazy, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I would love to see what some of the background looked like. And I'm imagining it's probably crazy back there, right?
Yes, it was just the, broken wall and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not good in the Photoshop. I have not learned. I'm very beginner, but I have I like I don't change the photo. I like them as natural it is, and I'm learning I don't know nothing about the Photoshop, just the Apple editor I use for little things.
Well, there's a lot of people like Jane here that could
I know she.
help you out with different things,
And I'm here to learn from everybody. But I know I love the emotions in the picture. And I can share them.
Great storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's really all about.
Yeah, this picture really tells a story and. Or four stories.
Yeah.
Each one of them, their eyes were so bright, and they were just some.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she's so precious right here. For the little. This is a solo flight by Ryan Duke.
Yeah, so this is what Michael was referring to earlier as a international camera movement. I was in Cabo San Lucas with my family last week and spent most of the time by the pool. But it was in fact peak whale watching season for humpback whales down there. So convinced my wife and 3-year-old daughter to get on a 24-foot long panga boat and went out to the Sea of Cortez and went whale watching, had my long lens on. And yeah, I'm a landscape shooter. I was very out of my element. It was the middle of the day. The light was incredibly harsh. So like technically I wasn't sure like what I was gonna get, but stumbled upon about a 2-week-old humpback whale calf here whose mom was encouraging it to like breach and like learn how to do this movement and it just kept on popping up over and over again. So yeah, I caught a few keepers and this one I just really liked. I felt like it really captured like the joy of the cat, if you will, in the moment of jumping up and seeing the world above.
I like that too, and that you have that separation, like it's above the water, like, the top part gets above the water and we're like really, and it works with that background. I think it looks nice with that building, but it's far enough out there that it's out of focus, so it's not, to me, it's not a distraction. The eye goes immediately to the subject, and the spray of the water coming off of the fin. Really nice. Colors, the blue is nice.
I was just telling Ryan earlier, like I was out on a couple whale watching ventures and you don't know where these things are coming up.
Yes.
I mean, you're just looking at open ocean and all of a sudden there's a whale, I mean, it's like amazing you can even do this, it's so difficult. It's not like even a fast bird where you see it coming. This is just pops out of nowhere, right?
And to get that focus and to get the direction and so forth, and that when you only have seconds to do it, right? Or literally a second to catch it. That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
Nice catch, nice shot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good.
Stairway lamp, Ray Johnson.
So this is my shot from Michael's discussion we had of Jane's picture.
It's not my picture.
So so I took this with my wide-angled lens.
And it's very difficult to get, as you are experiencing here, that upper part here, because of just the angle where it is.
Yeah, my head couldn't go back any further. That's the big issue. But so I tried to make it into black and white and see how it would look.
That's a good idea.
I think the black and white looks great, and Jane had that great example of her black and white one that she did from there and that, but yeah, it's good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What I really like about this is that it's like you see the light first, so that's light, and then your next ring is dark, and then up in the Capitol Dome is light. So it's light, dark, light. So it's dragging you into the depth of the photo. So it's a kind of a clever trick to show 3D dimension there.
That was by accident.
Well, to be honest with
I
you.
will
Take
say,
credit.
this was quite an exhausting day because we went on the tour and the young girl looked at us and she said, "We're going up 99 steps,
It's after we had already gone up 60 or something like that.
60 steps." So we went right to the top dome. And then there's this little thing that goes up further. Lucky enough, that was closed.
Nice job, nice job.
Oh, thank you.
Swan Cruiser, Bruce Norman.
So, I just kind of like this one because of two things. One is the fact that the wings are backlit there.
Yeah.
But the second thing I thought was pretty interesting is that the swan's neck is a shadow on its own wing. I thought that was pretty
Right.
different.
It is pretty.
Yeah, when you pointed that, because I was trying to figure out how
Mm.
that was created and until you described it. That shadow part of it, that is, it looks nice. Again, it gives it a unique look to it. Yet with it being somewhat translucent to the rest of them.
What speed did you take that at?
It's probably a thousandth of a second.
Beautiful bird.
Like the soft background, yeah.
Yeah. nice.
Did you crop it in a lot?
And it's cropped maybe just a little bit.
Okay. I'm asking because I'm trying to do the ones from the week, this week. Oh, that's
Mhm.
Swan Lake, that's the Spruce's also.
Yeah, also mine. The lake in Japan with swans on it.
Excited to see that many of them.
So how did you come up with that title?
You know, ChatGPT had to help me out. I couldn't. I don't know if they migrate or not, but I will find out before I do my slideshow.
oh, I think they do migrate. They're different to the ones we get in the UK. Are they called Hooper's swans?
Not sure.
But nice to catch just one of them with that kind of motion in that, and the other one is down.
Well, when you take 20,000 photos, surely
You're bound to get one, right?
I'm trying to get one or two over there.
And it's nice,
Separated
no
or something.
blur or anything, very nice.
Yeah.
That is really.
I want one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, great capture. I mean, like I said, getting the one.
This one's called TP, it's Michael Rhinos.
So I was over at Chatfield and I took some normal, let's say normal like color images and so forth. I was the honest answer. I was trying to get some really super long exposure, so I had like a 15 stop neutral density filter on my color camera. And then I was getting like 3-minute exposures. It wasn't until I got home and I looked at it and it's like, a little bit blurry. I had the on my lens, I had the motion thing, whatever, the anti motion thing on the lens set to
Image
stabilization.
Image stabilization, there you go. I had that set to on, and for a 3-minute exposure, the things that were supposed to be in focus weren't in focus, were a little bit blurry. So anyways, that day didn't work out from that standpoint just because of that. It was super windy. This was like that day that it was like 60-mile-an-hour wind, so I was gonna try and get that 2-minute exposure of the glassy thing. So anyways, on my way out, I had my infrared camera with me also in that. And so this was actually taken with the infrared camera. And as I was walking back, I saw obviously somebody had built up this little teepee thing that was over here on the side. So I just, with my infrared camera, kind of positioned that. There were a lot of the clouds that were coming through, and that was part of what I was trying to get in the scene. So that's all it is, just an infrared photo, nothing else special about it, but that was one that I did.
Like what it does to the clouds. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, with the infrared, you get, when you have contrast in clouds, or if you have blue sky, the darker parts of the cloud go darker than they normally will. I did a little bit of post-process. I didn't go crazy with luminosity masking on those clouds or anything like that. It just, the infrared camera just captures it differently than a color image converted to black and white. When I did that with some of them, it didn't come out as anywhere near like what this one here did with the sky.
Well, I like the way you positioned it. The composition.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of those other kind of big branches that are maybe a
Yeah,
little bit
get
bright
rid
and
of
so
those.
forth, and that kind of stand out. I didn't go through and try and eliminate those. They were part of the scene.
But wait, Jane did it.
Pardon me?
Jane did it for you.
I think that's so I didn't do anything big as far as object removals or anything like that. They're there and they may be a little bit distracting. Maybe I darken them or take them out altogether or whatever, but.
Since we kind of read right to left, I was just kind of with that light coming from the right side on it.
Yeah.
I did another one. I just switched it around a little to see it looked different this way. And I don't know. I just it's confusing. To me, I almost would like the teepee to almost to the right here with the light coming down on it, but or further one way or the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, thanks for, yeah.
Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
gotta go on.
Yep.
We're running out of time. This is called. Come on. The Painted Slope, Jeff Woodard.
And I took this a number of years ago at in the Great Smoky Mountains, and yeah, I was just. It was an afternoon where the sun kept on going in and out of the clouds, kind of spotlighting the hillside I was looking at. So, yeah, it was just one of the frames I took of many that afternoon.
Again, really nice with
Love
the
it.
light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the way that the light is catching the area that you want to see. And the color tones in there.
It's beautiful.
There's so much
A
nice from
movement.
laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot nicer. That
Look at there.
there, it's just gorgeous on the laptop. This one's called The Resilience of Stone. Shashi?
Yes. So I was just learning to long exposures and I was in Dominican Republicans and one morning and just playing with the long exposure and was really beautiful the way the cascades of the water was coming through the stones.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And again, it's kind of nice, it's not super long exposure, because you still have some, the detail and some of the spray that's coming up in that, but yeah, you still have some of the motion that's coming down off of, you know, the water that's flowing off of the rocks and some of the foreground part of it, which just blurred just enough to give it that sense of motion. Maybe crop a little bit off of the top if you wanted to,
Yeah.
just that there's not as much going on up there, and that will bring my eye more into the.
It was in the color really nice because it had some sunlight, but I wanted to change to the, that's how I did not crop it.
Okay.
So the
And again,
water-
not necessary, I was just saying.
No, good, idea. Thank you.
Just do that and see what you think, but
Thank
it looks beautiful as is.
It's a little flat. So I know you're just learning Photoshop and Lightroom. This is where I cropped it a little bit, like Michael said. And then I added a little more contrast, and you can see more texture in the rock, etc. With doing that, still leaving the splash alone, etc. Was just a texture in the rock and the cropping.
Thank you. That looks really good.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
Do you remember about what shutter speed you might have used?
I think 120, I was playing with 130, it's a handheld, not on the tripod.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
Steady hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tokyo City, Bruce Norman.
So this is, hopefully this kind of gives you the feel of a helicopter or something. I took this from, called the Sky Tree, and it's the world's tallest tower, not the world's tallest building.
Oh my God, really?
Or it was the world's tallest, I think it's still the world's tallest tower. And you go way the heck up and it's like 300, it's like the Space Needle kind of. Yeah. You got 360 degrees of it's really amazing. You can see all of Tokyo from all these different angles, and I kind of like the one with the
Let the water,
river
the
stuff.
pool, really amazing.
I like how the water is from the corner leading up through.
Yeah, a little bit of that S curve kind of thing,
Yeah.
takes you all the way along.
Yeah.
You can see they're kind of building on every little inch that's available.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yes, yeah.
What a brave guy going in
Oh,
an earthquake zone in a tower that tall.
whoa.
Yeah, nice.
They have earthquakes?
Yeah, there wasn't one when we were up there, thank God.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice color.
You know, this would almost be spectacular in black and white, because that blue
Ooh, that's nice.
would go black. It would be really cool as a secondary version of this.
Yeah, I'll try that. Good idea.
It's called Umbrellas. It's Peters, Lindvik.
This one, I'll make it quick. A town around here, every single year over downtown, they put the umbrellas over the street, and they always do the neon colors. Usually what you'll see in Italy or the Bahamas and other countries. And this was the first time I captured the umbrellas, and this was during COVID. So they were doing something special representing first responders and every people who have passed away and everyone that was involved, and was just trying to get a different, unique aspect, taking pictures of the umbrellas.
Where's this at?
Like it.
It's Wausau, Wisconsin, and
Oh.
they do it every single year. I've been there 4 years in a row. The first picture is the only one that worked out. The other 3, every time it's after storms, so half of them are missing and broken. And
Oh. They get storms in Wisconsin?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
our winds are ridiculously lately. We're talking 50-mile-an-hour winds on a regular basis.
That's really nice.
I like how unique.
Yeah.
What I
Thank you.
kind of like about this is it's at an angle, and it's more of a Dutch angle than, like, this was it by accident. It's clearly you wanted this to be at an angle, so I like that you decisively put a Dutch angle into that.
And what also is good is that you, that those umbrellas don't intersect with the buildings over there. Like if you were to be, I'm sure, a few feet to your right, all of a sudden then they would kind of cross over into the buildings. You've got that separation between the buildings and the umbrellas over on the left that works out really well.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
Is this on Grand Avenue? I'm from Wausau myself.
To be honest, I can't think of the name of the street. I just know where they are, main downtown, right by, there's kind of a central park right down there. I just know it's kind of their main strip down there. To be honest, I'd have to look it up again.
Very cool.
Over on the very far right, upper part, there's like a little bit of something that's coming across into it. It's like
Right
to the
here?
right of the
Right
white
here?
umbrella right there.
Yeah, right there.
And not super distracting, but it's an easy removal, and then would clean that part of it.
Oh, true. Yeah, another piece of the umbrella. I actually never even noticed that. So no, perfect. Thank you.
You might try to bring a little bit more out in this lower section here, because I know you've lost a little detail on some of your blacks. So you could bring a little detail out in that. This one's called Vivid Awakening, Shashi.
Yes. I was in botanical garden and this leaf attracted me very much as it's just opening in the colors. I wish I had known the Photoshop. I could bring little more brighter red, but I just love it.
Well, you
And
did,
I got the macro lens and I was using, so just the beginning of the macro.
with the shallow depth of field, you did a great job of having that lens parallel to this thing.
Thank you.
That's really nice.
You know, the angle that is,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of movement into the photo. And then color theory, the reds and the greens are opposite on artist's color wheel. So it's got a lot working for it.
Yeah, they're complementary. I was gonna say that those colors have worked out really well together.
Thank you.
So unusual too, you don't see that.
Thank you.
Now, this one too, like I said, I'd use a vignette or a little radial gradient to really make the center portion stand out.
Thank you.
You've got a good eye.
Yeah, very good eye.
This is mine. It's called Walk Gently.
Called what?
Walk gently.
In other
Walk
words,
gently.
don't criticize her if she come in and have.
That's right. Go right, come over and crop your.
Again, beautiful detail. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. The whites, you can see detail in them. It's just, I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful detail, amazing.
Yeah.
It's all about textures in the ground and the bird and it's just great.
Yeah, ultra sharp. It's really nice.
One of those puffer birds, isn't it?
Must be nice. You have a real nice cell phone there.
You know, you can see his foot up in the air. He's not just standing there, it's nice.
Right.
Yeah, and I got lots of sand on me trying to take that picture.
Where's this at?
This was down in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah. Just laying on the ground trying to do that.
Yeah.
The sand.
Yeah.
Then you gotta get back up.
Yeah, that was the problem. And I still have some sand in my bag from it, you know, it's just amazing. I did have to take out, there was a bunch of a little shells here. Cause I did have it like at very, very, as you can see, very shallow depth of field. But I just had to take a few, you know, outlining shells out. That was all I did with it, so.
I think it's a good idea. You left a couple of
Yeah.
ones in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they're not distracting.
yeah.
It's not there.
But it
But
kind
there
of,
were some just like on the edges, you know,
yeah.
so.
The feather is looking like it's a painting.
Yeah, the painting,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, look at that one.
Wow.
This is called Winter Sunrise. It was -11
That's yours too?
when we took this, right? Yeah.
Where was that?
This is down there at Ridgegate,
Yeah.
Ridgeway.
Ridgeway.
Oh, Ridgeway.
It's nice to see these scenes in the, with the fall colors and all this kind of stuff. It's beautiful right there. The way that light is hitting them, the.
Great
Great
composition.
composition.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fog in the background and the color on the logs, beautiful.
Now, do you think this light being too light right up here, does that need to be balanced somehow, or is it okay?
I think it's okay.
I like it.
It's not,
Yeah.
my eyes are not getting pulled away from this. It's, yeah, go ahead.
It's not blown out, it has color.
Right.
And the way that there's a subtle transition from that very faint yellow on the left across and where it comes darker, I think it's fine. I mean, it's not blown out, it's not like it's white.
Well, it helps tell the story. You can see
Yeah.
that the light on the fence is coming from that left side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So you
consistent.
kind of want it to be a little lighter over there.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
want there to be some shape in the light.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
You're just fishing for compliments at this point. Come on.
The only thing I would do is
Great.
I would adjust the smallest of
On the left.
on the left where the
Yeah.
fence is, it just
Just give it a hair.
right against the
Tiny
the
bit
edge.
of light.
Yeah.
Right here?
Just give it
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little space,
right.
yeah,
Right there.
just a half inch or a
Give it a little more, I don't know if I have more to give, but.
generate. We will help.
Okay, now, I did another version because see how, you know, we have this mountain here. And here's another one I did, cropping it and,
no, I like the other crop better,
okay.
but I might pull even on the other crop, I might pull in a little bit from the right.
It's from the right over here, okay. Going back to that, just pull in here more,
Yeah, just.
Uh,
a little bit. Huh.
And I was actually thinking the other way where you may want to, like, I love the idea of the fence, like anchoring the,
Right.
like the lower left corner. So
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you crop off a little bit of the bottom and a little bit of the left, and you've got like that leading line coming directly from the left corner. You probably have that fence element on the lower right in the corner as well. And then you probably have to remove.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go
doesn't?
down. And if I crop anymore, then I have to take these guys out.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And she
So
probably has a different composition just like that.
I'm sure you
She
do.
was there for a while.
But I was taking that pot spot.
Mine, I don't have anything that nice.
So, but we had this beautiful fog coming in. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah,
And-
that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it had all these nice drifts and I wanted to get
Mhm.
those lines in there.
Yeah.
I'm cold just looking at it.
Yeah, but it was -11 that morning.
How long did your camera battery last?
Well, I went through some batteries, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems with my camera batteries that morning, although the drone did say that
Ooh.
it was just like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. So anyway, that is the last of it, everybody.
Very good.
Thank you again, Jane, for arranging putting all that together.
Ridgeway.
Well, I was hoping, I hope everybody didn't mind that I did a little extra.
No, that's good.
Oh, my goodness.
That's helpful.
For discussion.
Because I wanted to
Oh, that's Ridgeway.
No, that's
Ridgeway is a city.
show a little different approach to it or whatever.
right. no,
Very patient to
it-
put
it
your
does-
time and, it's amazing.
Let's see. Real quickly, because somebody on the chat asked.
No one likes you.
Upcoming dates and that. Lastly, so we have March 18th is the macro mini workshop, that's Wednesday night.
And that will not be Zoom, that's live.
Oh, that's live, so that's.
Yeah, you have to be here.
Yeah, understandably, okay. Good point. 21st is the meetup at Tagawa Gardens at 10 a.m. April 1st is the competition, that's intentional camera movement, not to be confused with something else. The 15th is a presentation. It's April 15th on the ingredients of a great bird photo. May 6th is the next competition, and that is open, so there's no theme to that one. And then on the 20th, we have a presentation on street scenes, so that'll be street photography presentation. And don't forget, on March 27th, Friday at 4 p.m. is the Exploring the Light opening reception over at the Lone Tree Arts Center.
And we may try to do, a trip up to Boulder for,
Oh.
for all the tulips.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, okay, okay.
Like the third
When they do
weekend
like
in
that, yeah.
April.
Third weekend in April, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll kind
we'll,
of depend on,
okay,
weather, this, that.
right. Stay tuned, we'll try and set up other outings similar to what we've done, like what we did up in Denver.
Next week.
So we'll try and set up some other outings and that, so sometimes those are somewhat impromptu, but we'll make sure that we get the word out on emails and that.
I just like the intentional camera movement, hopefully before like a week before or so, I'd like to get out and practice a little bit, because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, no, that's right.
But Carino,
Yeah.
you take your camera, you hold down the button, you move it. That's it.
Intentionally.
Actually, one of my professors said, it's so hard to press the button and then move it, that he puts it on like a 2-second timer,
Oh.
hits the button and starts the motion before the thing even
that's
starts.
some idea.
And then they're
idea.
very smooth.
See, you always learn something, so, yeah, we need to get out.
But Bruce, you had a beautiful one with that Mustang that you did with the car, the
I
carboy.
can't use
the-
that again, though.
I know you can't submit it again, but nonetheless, that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.